On the practice test, this is going to be like your test. I thought it was going to be tomorrow, but I don't think it's going to happen. Number 1, it's no. 2 is yes, it's a monomial. 3 is no because of the what? Because of the negative. 4 is yes. This one is a binomial to the 7th degree. Okay, so I guess you add up all of the exponents together. Monomial to the 1st degree, trinomial to the, and they take it just from the highest term here and they add those exponents, which I'm not going to emphasize on the test at all. But do know that it's a trinomial, and this one is 9th. 1 more degree, it would be to the 10th. 1, 2, 3, trinomial, and again, you just take, the highest one is not this one, it is this one, to the 12th degree. Right. Then on the, in the standard form is just from the highest exponent to the constant. So 8y to the 3rd, negative 4y second, plus 5y, plus 13. And again, this is just sorting it from the highest exponent, negative 1/5 y to the 5th, minus 9/4 y, plus 5/16 y, plus 5/8. Then the highest exponent is the n to the 7th, so negative n to the 7th. Can you see? Oh, it's barely visible. Okay. Plus 9.8 n6 plus 8.6 n to the 5th minus 4.2 n. Okay. Then just simplify. Make sure you have your. So you will have these absolutely on there. Is simplify, negative 5y to the 2nd plus 9y. 13 is. Why did they start with it? Oh, in alphabetical order. So 27t plus 7tu plus 9u. Again, fixtures up if you didn't get it right, or put a question mark and we'll go over it. Negative 4y to the 3rd plus 23y to the 2nd plus 9y minus 6. Then this one was, so these are important in here, negative 10 c to the 14th, d to the 19th. This one you should have probably multiplied all those through first and then subtracted. Negative 42 x to the 6th, y to the 8th. And then this one, 20 x to the 9th, y to the 9th, minus 15 x to the 6th, y to the 10th. Again, if I'm going too fast, put a question mark and we'll go back over it. Again, negative 15x to the 6th, y to the 10th, plus 35x to the 3rd, y to the 12th. Then these you should have unstacked it, made 2 of those, and then do your box or however you do it. Final answer, 49b squared plus 42b squared plus 42b plus 9. Same on this one. 3x squared plus 29x minus 44. Then 12x squared minus 11x plus 2. Then for each, find the product. Then they usually put them from highest exponent to the lowest. So if you didn't put them in right order, just draw arrows to switch them. So 21 is 6b to the 3rd. 17b squared minus 4b minus 3. And then this one is 6x to the 4th minus 8x to the 3rd minus 8x squared plus 10x minus 3. Then the next one is 13x squared y. And this last one's kind of weird. Negative 4y squared over x to the 4th plus 5y over x. Oh, that's a good one. Plus 2 over x squared. Wow. How many of you got that one right? Is that one we need to go over? Maybe. Because I don't know if I would have done it like that. Minus. Did somebody get something different? Erica, did you get something different than this?
Like before, I made the mistake of like putting like that. I think this is G8A. And then before my script I got to over X. But then I did it.
And then you had to put this under each of them. So we'll probably go over that one. Then on the back, which are the ones that I had you do? Which ones did you have to do on the back?
All of them.
Was it? I don't think. Was it all of them?
Well, I didn't tell you.
Uh-oh. I think it was selected ones. Well, it's okay. So this one should have come to, on the back, u to the 88, y to the 152. On this one, they first come to the negative exponent, but then you've got to switch it. So it ends up being x to the 21st over y to the 35th. And then these two, it looks like the final answer was, is that an L? I think so. 36L to the 10th. After all of that. And the final answer on this one, again, they go through the whole process, but the final answer was in the positive form, 4c to the 13th, e to the 10th, over 125 d to the 13th. And then 29 and 30 we haven't even done, because I couldn't leave you, and I'm sorry, I should have left that off. I didn't see those. But our next assignment was to do problems like this, but since I wasn't here, there was no way the substitute could have given it to you, so I had to do the review instead. So we're going to do those right now. So I'm going to get a piece of paper, and you might need a piece of paper to do those. Let me go ahead and get one. And then we'll go over any that you didn't get. Okay, so let me move this big old book. Alrighty. So it's going to be, is that in the 7 section? For some reason I can't find it. So here it is. So when you see, well, we're going to, in the next chapter, we're going to do them again where they factor out, and it's a little bit different. But because we haven't had factoring yet, this is actually a division. So if you want to add this onto your paper. So it is like you set it up like a regular division. So this is going to go on the inside. So it's z second plus z 7z. Yeah, grab a sheet of paper, maybe one for somebody behind you. I'll be setting up the number 30. I hope I can do it here. Okay. Plus 4a squared plus 5a plus 2. And then we'll do the rest. Okay. So this first one, you set this up, and you actually do a division sign. This is factoring polynomials by using long division. And that's what we're probably going to do today after we go over some of the ones that you had questions on. So I'm dividing by z plus 4. So I want to see how many z plus 4s are in there. So I start right here. I start with the first term, and it's been a long time since I've done this, so I'm going to try to remember. All right. I go z into z. How many single z's are there in z squared? How many? There's only one, because if I go z, this is a z times z. It's z times z would be z squared. Is that right? Z times z? What number times this will give me z squared would be a z. And because it's a single z that I'm saying, I put it right here. Okay. So it's one single z. So I'm trying to match this number. So I go z times z is what? Z squared. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to match that number. So it's z squared. But then I also have this, the 4. So I go z times 4 is what? And it's a positive, so it's plus 4z. And just like in long division, so you daddy divide, matching up the single z, and then multiply back, and then sister subtract. So here's the tricky part. You've got to sister subtract. But what happens when you subtract? What happens with each of these signs? They become negative. So in the book they don't change them, but I think I'm going to go ahead and change them. Because you might have a part, I had one a couple months ago when I had to take a math test in Washington State where it says, what did they do wrong in the next step in the long division? And so even though we're not going to use it a lot, you do need to know the process. So so I'm going to apply this, and I'm going to make this a negative and make this a negative. So let's see what's left. Z squared minus z is 0, so I don't need to write it. And then 7z minus 4z is what? Is 3z, and just like in regular division, you brother bring down. So my next term is minus 2. Okay. Then I look at this and say, okay, z times what will give me 3z? A 3. So it's a positive, so I'm going to put plus 3. And then I go, is this one with a remainder or no? Oh, this is one. Oh, this is one with a remainder. Okay, so here we go. So now I brother brought down, I daddy divided, and now we're going to multiply. We're going to multiply with this. We've already done this one. Okay. We're going to multiply with the 3. So 3 times z is 3z. And then 3 times 4 is 12. And then sister subtract again. So sister subtract, and when I do that, I've got to change both signs. So this is going to become, I'm going to change this to plus, I'm going to put this as a minus, and this is a negative. So 3z minus 3z cancels out, and then negative 12 and negative 2 is what? Negative 14. And that is our remainder. So just as if this remainder were 1, and this over here, the divisor was 5, it would be 1 over 5. So my answer is going to be z plus 3 plus, I don't know if they're putting it as a plus or a negative. They're putting it as a minus, but it's okay. And then my negative 14 over z plus 4. And that's it. So it went in perfectly this many times, and this was my remainder. And that was going to be the assignment yesterday, but the substitute couldn't have told you that. I don't think. Okay. Got that one? And then we'll do the other one here. Does this one come out perfect? Yeah, this one's going to come out perfect. So this one is, so I'm doing your number 30 from yesterday. That number 30 is a to the third plus 4a squared plus 5a plus 2 divided by a plus 2. All right, so it's really dividing, but I really say it to myself, kind of multiplying. A, because I'm looking at my first one, a times what would give me a to the third power? A squared. So I'm going to line it up under my a squared. So I'm going to put a squared. So then I'm going to, I daddy divided then I'm going to mommy multiply a squared times a is what? A cubed. Then a squared times 2. Yeah, is 2a squared. And then just like in regular division, we're going to subtract, but we've got to take the negative of each of the terms. So I'm going to leave this one here just like this. A to the third minus a to the third is 0. And then this one I'm going to kind of put that negative right here. So 4a squared minus 2 of them is what? Is 2a squared. And then, what do you think you do in regular division? You bring down brother, you bring down the next term, and then you go back to daddy and divide again. Again, working with the first term. So, a times what would give me 2a squared? 2a. So I'm going to line it up under this 5a. So it's going to be 2a, and there's no negative, so it's going to be a plus. And then I'm going to, so I'm already done with this, and now I'm going to be multiplying this one times my binomial. So 2a times a, what's 2a times a? Is 2a squared. Then 2a times 2 is 4a. Very good. That is a plus. Then, again, mommy multiplies, sister subtract, and when we subtract, we change the sign of both of those. This one I can see is going to be a 2a squared minus 2a squared. This one I'm going to have to actually apply the negative right there. So I know this drops out. Then 5a minus 4a is what? Is just a single a. Bring down my next term. And then this one should be easy. A times what is going to give me a? Is a 1. And then 1 times a is a. Plus 1 times 2 is 2. And if we subtract that, what would happen? It would be 0. So if I have this and I subtract the exact same thing, it is going to be 0. So my final answer is this. It is going to be the a squared plus 2a plus 1. All right. So this is what we're going to be doing today. I might have one of those, maybe one on a test, and I don't think it's going to be done until Friday. All right, let's go back. Is there anything on the review that we need to go back over? Any problems? None of them? Yes, which one, Luke?
Oh, can you do 28?
28? Oh, 28. Okay, that's a good one. Okay, so we'll do 28. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay. So 28, what would be the first thing that you would have to do? The exponent 3. So you actually, if it's on the outside, you actually do multiply that, because that means that there's a 5 to the 5th, another 5 to the 5th, and another 5 to the 5th, because there's 3 of them. So who knows what that C is going to be? C to the what? C to the 15th. And Luke, what is this D going to be?
27.
Wouldn't it be just 3 times 3?
3 times 3.
Actually, 3 times 3.
Oh, 3 times 3. Oh, okay. 9.
Yeah, thank you. He knew that. He was just kidding.
Multiplying the exponents.
Okay. Times 9. Okay. Well, but I can see how, how you think that, because there's going to be a D to the 3rd, a d to the third, a d to the third. But when you got when you're multiplying those, then you add the exponents. So 3 of them, then 3 more d's, then 3 more. It would be 9. Okay. Then this one is going to be what? What is that one going to be? It's going to be e to the 12. Okay. Then on this one, 2 squared is going to be what? Is going to be 4 c squared times 2 c to the 4th. This one is going to be d to the 1st, and then to the 2nd power, d to the what? D to the 2nd, and e to the what?
3 times 5.
They're so mean. Okay. All right. Then now we have the same thing on the bottom. On the bottom, so this means there's 3 of those 5. 5 times 5 times 5, which is what? 125. Okay. And then again, we're multiplying the exponents. So it's going to be c to the 6th, d to the 8 times 3 is 24, e 4 times 3 is 12. Okay. Then I can't reduce the numbers at all, I don't think. Nope. So on the numbers, I'm going to take these out. So I'm going to put 4 over 1, 2, 5. Okay. Then I'm done with those. And then let's start with the c's. So now when I've got a c, and this is where we probably got messed up. When we have a c to the 15th and a c to the 4th, now one is not outside of parentheses. So this is different. I don't go 4 times 15. What would I do here? You add them, because this means there's 15 c's, there's 4 more c's, and so there's 19 c's. Is that right? 19 c's? Okay. 19 c's.
Oh.
What? Did I do something wrong?
No, I was thinking I just remembered.
Okay, so guys, let's go ahead and get focused. So we've taken care of the C's. Then on the D's, look at the D. There's 9 D's, CJ. And there's 2 more D's. How many D's is that altogether? It's 11. So that's D to the 11th. And then on the E's, CJ, malo. All right, there's 12 E's, and there's 10 more E's, so 22 E's. I'm going to make my E like that. Okay. And then we've got the C to the 6th, D to the 24th, E to the 12th, and I didn't write that real. Okay, and then, so the 4 and the 125 stay the same. Now look at this carefully. Where are we going to have more C's left, on top or bottom?
On the top.
How many more are there on top? 13. Was that the right answer so far?
Yes.
Okay. Then look at your D's. Where are there more D's, on the top or the bottom? On the bottom. So 11 are going to get canceled out, but how many would be left on the bottom? Is it 13? 13. And then on the E's, we've got 22 on the top, 12 on the bottom. Where are there going to be more left when 12 gets canceled out? And there's going to be how many more? And was that the right answer?
Yes.
Okay, good. This is good. All right. Antonio es muy malo a veces. ¿Sí? ¿Es cierto? Taco Bell? Okay. All right. So, girls and boys, any others that you had any trouble with?
Can you do 16?
16. Okay. So let's go ahead and look at 16. Okay. So 16 is 8x6 y to the 8th minus. So now we've got to do this 2 first. So here we go. So 5 squared is going to be what? Is going to be 25, and then our x to the third times the 2, x to the 6th, y to the first times 2, y to the what? Y squared. And then we have to times it times 2 y to the 6th. So we're still right here. So I've got 8x to the 6th, y to the 8th, minus. So let's take our numbers first. 25 times 2 is 50. And then do we have any more x's? No. So it's going to be x to the 6th. And then we've got 2 y's here and 6 more y's. How many y's is that? 8. So y to the 8th. Okay, but now they are like terms.
I get it.
Okay.
Or was like I thought we were subtracting the exponent. So that's the like.
Oh, okay, but you get it now?
I got confused.
Okay, all right. Then you have like terms, and so positive, negative, there's more negatives, so negative 42 of the y, of the x to the 6th, y to the 8th. Well, that's okay, because we need to go over it. Okay. And any more? Or forever hold your peace? How was 24?
Oh, I think I have it like right, but then I didn't know that we had to like separate all of them. So then after I looked at the checking, I saw how they did it.
Yeah, well, let's go ahead and, Luke, let's go ahead and do that one real quick so we make sure that we have it right. Because the answer looks sort of strange to me, but let's go ahead and do it. So this is not like the one we did on the back page. So because I've got a trinomial divided by a monomial, that monomial is going to go into each of those. So I've got 16xy to the 4th over negative 4x to the 5th y squared. Then I've got the minus or negative 20 x to the 4th, y to the 3rd, divided by, again, the negative 4x to the 5th, y squared. And then I've got my last term, which I'll put the negative 8x to the 3rd, y squared, divided by, again, that negative 4x to the 5th, y squared. Okay, so do we all have that down? Okay. Then what happens on this first one? Is it going to be a positive or a negative? Negative. It's going to be 4. Where's the 4 going to go, on top or bottom? Top. And then how many x's are left and where? 4 of them on the bottom. How many y's are going to be left and where? Yeah, y squared. I don't know if that's the format they had it in. Is that the format? Yeah. Okay. Then this next one then was negative divided by negative, which becomes a positive. And it looks like there's going to be a fraction. So where's the 5 going to go? Top or bottom?
Bottom. I mean, top.
Top. So it's going to, because there's more on the top. There's x is going to be left. Where? 1 on the bottom. There's going to be a y left, because I can cancel out 2 of them. And where's the 1 going to be left? On the top. And then negative divided by negative is a positive. You're right. Does that one come out? No, that's a 5. So I will have another fraction. So it's going to be 2. There's a 5x on the bottom, x to the 3rd on the top. Where there going to be more left? On the bottom, 2 of them. And what happens with the y squared divided by y squared? Was that the answer in the book? Okay, good. Sometimes I forget. Okay. Well, that was kind of a weird one, but that's it. Okay. Any more questions on those? You guys have until what time? What?
I was ready to.
Oh my God.
Okay. Okay. So, no more questions on those? All right. So, let me close that. Let me close this. Let me get. Oh, where's it right here? We're going to do a few of these. And so you will need paper for this. And I'll come right here. I might check it tomorrow.
After that, blue. Oh. Not that hard. Wow, shivering timbers. Shivering timbers.
Okay. Okay, so we're gonna, this is the assignment for today, which is 24. And we're, yep.
Oh, did we start over for the new year?
We did start over, but that's a lot since the new year. 24. Yeah, so I'm gonna try not to do the ones with the remainders. We're probably, okay. So, let's see, let me see if I can. Does anybody know what time you guys get out? You guys get out at?
We get out at.
1:40. Okay.
Actually, yeah.
What time is it before?
Don't tell me you only have 10 minutes.
Oh, we have 10 minutes. I think we might have to wait or
care.
wait till tomorrow.
Well, we can do a couple and we'll call it a day. But I think you have the essence since we did those review.
Yeah, because we did 2 of them.
Yeah, so we did 2 of them. So let's go ahead and just look at a few of these. So let's go ahead and do the number 2. And again, you will have to write at least the first polynomial out, or the trinomial polynomial. Divided by all right. So even though we're dividing, it helps to go backwards and say, what would I multiply 2n to give me 6n squared? 3n. So you want to line up the n in the n column. So here's the n column. So 3n. And then multiply back. 3n times 2n is 6n squared. And then 3n times 9 is 27. And then what do you do? What do you do in normal division? Subtract. So again, this is going to end up being a negative here. This one also, but I can see it's right here. So 6n squared minus 6n squared cancels out. And 51 minus 27 is 23. Is it 24? And bring down. Did you get an answer?
Yes.
How many times then 2n times what will give us 24n? 12. And then we multiply back. 12 times 2n is 24n. 12 times that is 108. And what's this minus that?
0.
0. So that is your answer. Do you guys have the hang of that?
Yeah.
We'll do some weird ones tomorrow, but all you need to do, try to do maybe just 4, 5, and 6. We'll make it easy.
Now?
Yeah, can you do it now? You have like 7 minutes. These all come out perfect too. And we'll call it a day.